What's up, everybody? Hello.
Yeah.
Another episode. What is
Yes,
going
sir.
on, Mr. West? How are
What
you today?
is up? I see you got your winter outfit on.
I do. It got a little cold. It got a little cold recently up here in Minnesota. We're in fall weather now, which means like 40 degrees, 50 degrees. Today wasn't so bad. It's just I got my windows open, so it was like a nice cool breeze. But a week ago, it was like 45 for our high, and it was getting pretty cold out. Some frost.
Yeah, the high today was 98 and the low was around 76.
I would definitely take your low all day. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but the 76 is at like 12 o'clock in the morning or like o'clock at night, not during the day at all. It's 90 all day.
Right, right. What's up, Chris? How's it going, brother? Thanks for
Yeah.
taking me in. It's funny because when I was down there, what was it? It was February when I was in Orlando with you
That's
when I
one of the
came,
coldest months.
and you said that's one of its what?
Coldest months.
Which is hilarious because I was in shorts and a t-shirt, loving my life because I was like, it's like 20 below and ice where I'm at right now, and you were like, man, I need a sweatshirt, and I was just loving it. I was like, when you talk about a sweatshirt, this is the perfect weather. Um, but then if I was down there like now with you, dude, I would be, I'd be so grossed. So much sweat coming off my fat, it would be nasty.
Yeah, you
But
do all right though. You find a
I'd,
shady spot.
I'd get used to it. I'd like to think I can handle that. I like warm places. Like I'm not meant to be here. You know what I mean? Like I love Minnesota, but oh, Chris, why would you go to Iowa? Respects to Iowa though for the Hall of Fame in
I just
Waterloo.
talked to, speaking of Iowa, I just talked to Troy Peterson,
Huh?
and
To
he's
IPW.
very excited for some upcoming shows. They're going to be able to start running shows soon,
Right.
and he's really excited for the Hall of Fame coming up. And he's big shout out to Troy and his wrestling out there, and yeah, he's excited for the new year. I talked to him
Yeah.
last night for an hour.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man, that's gonna be cool. I've seen that IPW's been running some like online like no crowd shows, but streaming them so people can watch. So that's cool. Chris, you're gonna be in Osage. That means next summer in July, you have to come to Waterloo for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
No
it's gonna
excuse
be
if you're in the
huge.
same state.
Yeah, you definitely gotta come. I mean, people travel all over to go to the Hall of Fame. It's one of the best Hall of Fames there are because not only do you get to see all these superstars, you stay in the same hotel as them. It's all in walking distance. You get to end up hanging out with them at the bars and the restaurants, and it's a lot of interaction. Me and Big Ace do a live podcast, and we do a lot of fun stuff. So, it's a really good weekend, and it's a good weekend to celebrate the wrestlers that paved the way for us younger generation wrestlers and the next coming up generation wrestlers. And they really pay homage to everybody. And they have, not only do they bring the top legends in, they also bring some of the top indie wrestlers in. They brought in Ricochet before. They've brought in Brian Cage, where we did our Brian Cage interview. Sammy Callahan, a bunch of different people they've always brought in to show the people that a little bit diversity, and then they always have a legends match and all kinds of good stuff. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know what's nice about it too is it is a legitimate Hall of Fame. You
Oh yeah,
know, everybody talks about the WWE Hall of Fame, whatever. It is what it is. It's a
this is
it's an
way.
honor, but it's also a big just show. Where there's more meaning behind the people getting inducted at this Hall of Fame. Plus, knowing that it's actually a wrestling Hall of Fame amateur, a Roman Greco style Hall of Fame, but they are acknowledging the professional wrestling world and doing
And MMA.
and MMA now, yes, and even now women's wrestling because this last year was the first year they inducted a female, Beth Phoenix, who you can watch that episode on our YouTube channel, the Brisco and Big Ace show. Make sure you subscribe and click notifications. Uh, yeah, man, it's a special weekend. That's where all this began. That's where this whole show began. That's where you and I became friends. We've had a lot of great memories that we could talk about on and off air. And we're going to make a lot more memories as those shows continue to happen. Plus, we're finally going to have a nicer hotel. Same
Oh,
hotel, but it's been upgraded. I cannot wait.
as long as it's the same staff.
Yeah, man, that was an amazing staff, almost like family run. They were great people, and they took care of all of us. So,
Yeah. Well, let's get into some wrestling because I'm sure that's what a lot of people tune into too. Is we talk a little wrestling. I was seeing some of the ROH matches,
mhm.
and I saw my good friend Fred from FCW, which was in WWE, and I see that he's wrestling again.
Okay.
Yeah, Darren Young was his name,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
he was part of the Nexus.
yeah. Yeah.
And man, Darren Young, what can I say? He was probably one of my favorite people to have matches with. I
Nice.
remember one of my matches in FCW where Dusty came up to me and he was like, "Hey, I want you guys to tear down the house." And if Dusty tells you that, you kind of got to like step your game up. And Dusty doesn't usually tell you to like, "Hey, we want you to really like get over." So me and Fred are looking at each other and we're going over this match, and he's helping me. I was trying to at the time I was trying to do some like amateur moves,
Mhm.
and I remember I used to do like where I would do a spot where I would hit the ropes and the guy would do a drop down. And as he dropped down as an amateur wrestler, you go and grab him and you hook him for a gator roll and you gator roll him and pick him up and do a suplex. And I used to do that. And it was just funny because I saw that he was on the card. So it made me watch one of our old matches on FCW. And it was just probably one of my best matches ever. And it was working with Fred and Darren Young or whatever. Well, he goes by Fred now, but Darren Young when he was in WWE. But yeah, man, I'm really proud of him, and I'm glad he's back in the ring, and I'm glad he's doing his thing because he was a great talent and one hell of a worker.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, all of those guys that was a part of that whole Nexus group really were great talent.
Tell you
Which
what
makes
I
me also want to ask you, because you are friends with all of them. You were there during that same time. If the injury hadn't happened when it happened, was there a chance you were being lined up to be a part of that Nexus crew?
No, to be honest with you, me and Xavier Woods were gonna debut. We were gonna debut as a tag team. That was their WWE's whole push for me and Xavier was for us to be a tag team. We just
Okay.
had really good chemistry and like we were really good baby faces and we really we really worked on our tag team and how to like be able to wrestle any size guy from Big Show to anybody. We knew how to like because a lot of times they put me and Xavier against Bris Clay, and Brodus Clay's partner was Andrew Jackson, and Andrew Jackson was 7'2",
Damn.
and Brodus Clay's 6'9".
Right.
I'm barely 6 foot, and Xavier's 5'9", 5'10". He's a couple inches shorter than me,
Mhm.
but we learned how to work bigger guys, and WWE saw that, and they were like, "Wow!" They saw that we were getting over. They're like, we had a lot of fight, we had a lot of, just aggression and just not getting up and proving to everybody that it didn't matter your size, we'd still take you down, we'd still beat you.
That's
And
awesome. I seen the picture of you 2 becoming FCW tag champs.
yeah, and we actually beat Fandango and EC3.
Wow.
Was and that's I pinned EC3 to win the tag team titles. And let me tell you the crazy story about that was you used to have in FCW. There used to be a kind of like a passing of a torch kind of deal where right like the day of you get to the show, and usually the tag team that was the champions already knew the day that they were going to drop the title, and people that were winning it usually didn't really know. I
Right.
didn't know. Me and Xavier really didn't know, and we had a meeting, and some good things were said, and I remember sitting there, and I remember EC3 coming to me, and handed me an empty bag. It's a velvet bag. And he's like, "You're gonna need that later." And I was like, "What?" And he just like smiled and he just walked away and left the bag with me. So I like didn't let anybody see it. I put it in my bag. I like hit it. I was like, "Oh my god, I think we're winning the tag team." And I went up to Xavier and I'm like, "Hey, did Fandango give you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, he didn't tell us that. And I was like, "Dude, I think we're gonna win the titles." And he's like, "Yeah, I think so too." And lo and behold, we end up winning the titles that night.
Oh, that's great. And was that on TV for FCW or was that just a live show?
That was on TV. That was on the Bright House Network. It was a local Florida station, Bright House TV. They played all the local, like Tampa Bay Rays. They played all the sports. It was basically the new Fox Sports, but it was called
Mhm.
Bright House Sports. And you can start find those matches on YouTube. All those matches are on YouTube. But it was just a great experience. And the sad thing is that I never got the opportunity to pay the respect and give my opponent the empty velvet sack because
Mhm.
I got hurt and I had to just give up the tag titles.
Right.
I kind of just it was just like, okay, Wes is going to knee surgery. He's out 7 months. Okay, we got tag team titles are gone. Xavier goes does something else. See you later.
You know what's funny that you mentioned this because I remember when Xavier debuted on WWE. First of all, I saw him. I think it was WrestleMania 29 in New York at Fan Access when they were running the NXT shows during Fan Access, and I remember watching him wrestle. And it was funny because he one session I went to, he was babyface. The next session, he was heel. So I like it. Even then, I was like, I feel like they don't know where they want to go with this guy. And then when he debuted on TV, it was even like I still feel like they don't know where they wanna go. This all makes more sense because, he was being packaged with you as this next great tag team, and then
Yeah.
obviously plans had to change, so that just makes a lot more
Well,
sense.
and the craziest thing is like Xavier Woods was already like popping. Like he was in TNA and had some good matches in TNA. He had a match against Kurt Angle, believe it or not.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, he went by Austin Creed
Yep.
and or Apollo Creed, I believe, or Austin Creed, one
It
of
might
the two.
have been Austin Creed.
But yeah, he had some great matches. And then he's a guy that I really, really give a lot of respect to. He really helped me out. I had the attitude of like not he was like the cool mellow dude, and I was the dude that was like, because some guys would be like wouldn't want to like do stuff for us, like the bigger guy. So I would go up to him and be like, okay, well then I'm gonna kick out your leg, and then I'm
Yep.
gonna run. I'm gonna need you as hard as I can in your face. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, well, if you don't want to bump for me, you could do that because that's realistic. If I kick out your leg, you're gonna drop to one knee, and when you drop to one knee, I'm gonna knee you in the face.
Right, if you're not gonna sell for me, I'm gonna make you sell for me.
Exactly. Like, but that's smart. That's telling a story. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
making them bump, but I'm making them drop to a knee, and then I'm blasting them in the face, and then I tag Xavier Woods. And Xavier Woods do a double tag, hit him again. We get him in the corner. We start going at it. Boom, boom, boom. I hit him. Tag Xavier Woods. He come in. Boom, boom, boom. He'll tag me, and we do that like in a circle for three
Right.
times. So it's like three fresh guys just coming in there, just pounding on you.
Oh,
So
that's
we really meshed good. We had great promos together. That was when I had long hair and I used to braid it, and I would have braids and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we just had a good time. It was just really fun.
dude, I remember when I first, 'cause you'll have to tell me how long ago this happened, but I don't, because I don't remember when you did this,
I
but
don't remember either.
I do remember, like, talking to you for the first time since going from long to when you chopped your hair off, and, like, for a second, I had to be like, "W wait, what?" Like,
I was I
I
was
almost
doing the Ring Warriors,
yeah,
and they were on the WGN network at the time.
I just remember, like, seeing, like, first FaceTime since you did that, and I was just like, "Whoa!" I just wasn't expecting that, bro, like,
You know,
cool,
people, you
by
know,
all means, man, you
people at Ring Warriors were mad about that.
really? Well, because 'cause
Yeah.
you've been known with that long hair.
Yeah, but then again, they weren't paying me enough to like tell me what I can and cannot do. And for me,
Right.
I just wanted a change in life. I just wanted a new look. I was just it was time to elevate. I was trying to like grow and go to something different. So I just did it all at once, and I just shaved it. I went really like completely bald. I was just like, I'm going as low as possible, but it was just a statement just to say that I don't care. Like no one can tell me what to do. Like I don't nothing. I don't know. I
Oh, it's
needed a
evolution.
change. You know.
It's almost evolution of yourself, and that's what was cool
Yeah,
about
they
it.
had a big meeting about it, and they're like, "Oh, are we gonna have to change Wes?" And I'm like, "How does that change the way I wrestle by my haircut?"
What, are they mad that they just didn't get to do, like, a hair versus hair match or something to make it
No,
happen?
they were like, "Oh, you look like a heel now." I'm like, "What? Like, how does that make me look
That
like a heel?"
see, to me, long hair looked like a heel.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what they said, and
Oh,
our Austin Aries kind of stuck up for me and was like, "Hey, you guys don't pay Wes enough to tell him to not cut hair or whatever."
yeah, probably one of the best moments of Ring Warriors TV while they were still on was you and Austin Aries anyways, so
That one are me versus Marty the Fly, or
yeah.
me versus Jeff Cobb.
Oh, I
Actually,
gotta watch that, you and Jeff Cobb?
yeah, me and Jeff Cobb had a good match, and then another good one. There, I actually had a bunch of good ones there.
See, I didn't get it here, that's what sucks, so I only heard about it when we would talk,
Yeah,
'cause I didn't get that up here in Minnesota, man, but Uh, that's what's amazing is like, dude, you have had some matches with some just stellar talent that like amazing people haven't watched these more, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um it's it's
I
oh and
mean,
they're gonna
even my New Japan stuff.
right, yeah. How long were you out there again?
Did 3 tours.
Nice. So where's been the like you literally have been all over the world. I mean,
Yeah,
you really
I did the UK for a whole month. I lived in the UK for a whole month.
what was that like? What was the transition like? Because you have you lived internationally before that?
I
I know
lived
you
in
traveled
Puerto
with the
Rico.
okay, yeah, you lived in Puerto Rico with the wakeboarding. Oh, but what was
No,
the
I wrestled for Carlos Colon in Puerto Rico.
oh, okay, that's right, okay.
Yep.
What was the transition like, though, when you had to go to either A, Puerto Rico or
I
the
love Puerto
UK?
Rico. That was
I
I never
that's
wanted to leave. And then when I was in Puerto Rico, that's when I was there for about a year and a half, and then TNA started calling me. And
okay,
then Will was living in was is from Puerto Rico. He's the Spanish commentator with Hector, and so I would always fly from Puerto Rico with Will to, and now Will's working for AEW. So big shout out to Will.
yeah, big shout out to Will. Big shout out to all your people that are over in AEW. They got a few of your good friends and even your
Yeah,
lady.
those guys have been like talking, and I don't know. It's looking like a place I might show up. I don't know. Depends on what other people think. I don't know.
All I know is if you show up, you're gonna kick some ass. That's what's gonna happen. So, I mean,
Well, I'm not gonna go there to, you know, wear a pink Mickey Mouse shirt or do anything like that. I'm gonna go in there to whip some ass. Like I'm gonna take things seriously.
I like that because
I
we had
mean,
talked.
don't get the pink taco shirt wrong. It
Right,
is
right.
Taco Thursday. So
We were talking about that earlier. Actually, earlier this week, we talked about that the debut of Miro or Rusev on AEW, and I think we both had the same opinion. It was like it's cool, good for him, glad to see him sign and going over there, and probably going to get to be used in a better way. But then, just the way they debuted, I know you weren't a fan of the clothing, and to me, it was kind of weird too that it was just like these weird whatever. And I get it, it's Gucci, it's expensive. I'm not into designer brands, so I know nothing. Like I buy my shit at Target. You know what I mean?
yeah, but okay. Here's the whole thing is about that. I love Rusev. I think he's a badass. His wrestling skills. He has so much of the it factor when he showed up to that just kind of just brought it down for me. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. I'm sure he has his opinion. But I got nothing but respect for him. I love his style of wrestling. He used to do a move where he would do a rolling gut wrench, and I used to love it. Like it was one of my favorite moves that he would do, and I'm a huge fan of him. I just wish he would have came out in a good suit,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, just something a little bit more different. I just
Yeah,
think
and for
that
oh, I
you
was gonna
know,
say, and for me, I just didn't like the second, he's playing Kip Sabian's best man, and I feel like he should have came in and been a powerhouse and just a big debut, not like you're this dude's best man who isn't really doing much other than he's about to get married on Dynamite. Like that's weird. Plus, is he heel then? Like that's the other thing. They didn't really distinct on is he going heel or face.
oh
Um,
look at Ryan.
Ryan's got a great question. And it goes with what we're talking about right now because Rusev just debuted, and again, he's with Kip Sabian, which makes it feel heel, but he didn't really come off heel on the mic. So again, he says, "Do you guys think wrestlers, when they go heel or face, they should change their look a little bit?" So you went from being an Aces and Eight, which obviously was one of the best heel factions in the last 20 years of wrestling because of the heat you guys drew. So when you stopped doing the Aces and Eight gimmick and now on the indie scene, you're majoritively doing babyface, you are, the crowd favorite. How did that transition go? Because again, too, Aces and Eights days for you, you were drawing a lot of heat. So did you feel like to get away from it, you needed to change your look a little bit to be that babyface?
No, you just kind of just change a little bit of wrestling, but n- it's you don't really have to change your look up. It's just more of your psychology of how you put together a match and your psychology of how you want to sell and your psychology of how to get the other person over and how to do the correct job.
Yeah, I agree. I like really am the only like you can stay with whatever you're doing. It's the attitude and it's how you tell the story in the ring that's going to show that you've now turned or that you've now become the face. The only person that I'm like some sort of change would have been nice, at least in his gear, would have been Roman Reigns. Like the guy just still hasn't changed his gear from when he was with the Shield. That would be
Well,
nice.
do you know the reason why?
No, I don't, and I would love to hear it if you know.
Yes, I actually do. Roman suffers from a lot of hernias. So the whole reason why he always has to wear a shirt is because he wears a protective vest that holds a belt in that prevents him from getting hernias because
Mm,
he's had multiple hernias. So that's the reason why he just went from a shirt and sometimes it looks a little bulky and like he has padding on, and then sometimes you see him, he's all ripped up in a tank top and you're like, hey, what. But the reason why is because he's protecting his body from getting another hernia and being out for longer than he has to be.
that's a good explanation. I'm glad I know that info now, and
That's true facts.
yeah, and that's awesome. I mean, you guys got to do what you got to do to protect yourselves when you're in the rings. I mean, I get that. I still like at least change the color scheme up or something. That's all I would like. Our boy Chris has another question for you, Wes, and I'm actually interested in this one too. What would you say is your most underrated match of your career?
What does that mean?
Like, what match do you think was that you were in that you thought was just amazing, but it didn't really get any the praise you thought it should have gotten?
None.
None. There it is.
Nah. If I go out there and steal a show, trust me, I know I stole the show,
There
bro.
you go.
There's no questions about it. I know exactly how that crowd reacts. I know exactly by looking and when I'm selling, when I'm doing a comeback, if the crowd is with it or they're not with it. If they're not with it, then hey, I didn't do my job. I'm gonna be pissed. I've never not been able to be like, I never went home and been like, oh man, that match should have got over because if it didn't get over, I didn't do my job properly. That means I made a mistake somewhere, and that's my fault.
Mhm.
So I never look at any match that got overrated or any of that. I just feel like if it didn't, then that's just maybe my fault. I didn't perform good enough.
I hear you. Mark says Wes versus Brody Lee would be sweet. Yeah, it'd be all right. Let me ask you this. With
Actually,
that,
I would like if I'm gonna wrestle anybody in
yep,
AEW,
let's hear it.
my first guy is actually a good friend of mine, but he's been talking some smack. Would be Brian Cage.
That hurts too. He was our very first guest, but I mean, if he's going to talk some smack, it's gonna have to happen then. So that would be an amazing match, though. I would love to see you and Brian Cage just get at it in the ring. And I don't know, guys, if you want to see that happen, let it be known. Let it know. Get on Twitter. Let everybody know. Let AEW know. Let Tony Khan know. Let Brian Cage know that Wes is knows what's going on and he's not afraid. How about this though? Not even just in AEW though. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with that you're like, man, I hope that I can maybe still get a chance to work with this person down the road?
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes would be another one that I'd like to wrestle.
And did you know Cody back when you guys were younger, just from families being in the industry?
Yeah, I've known Cody my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since I was a little kid.
That's crazy. Like, it's crazy because I would, all of you guys, like you, like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, all these guys that are now in the business, but were back there then as children with their parents. Like, I would think somewhere along the line, there's got to be some great stories of you and some of these guys of when you guys were just kids.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I had some stories with Dustin. It's just kind of funny. It's the only stories I really remember as a kid was with Randy Orton.
Really?
Yeah, because Randy Orton used to come to the house a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. And he's killing it right now. It's on you if you want to tell that story. Otherwise, we can just keep that. But
I'll tell the story.
all
It's
right, let's
fun.
hear it. What is your story, Randy Orton?
So Randy came over to stay the night. I guess maybe there was a Tampa show and Cowboy was in town. So of course everyone like the main dudes would stay at my parents' house. They were like, my dad was like, don't get a hotel, come stay at the property because my dad has a pretty nice sized property. And so they would come over. And of course, we have boats and jet skis. And, we take Orton out on the jet ski and it's me and Randy. And Randy goes, is there gators in this lake? And I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch. So don't fall off. And he's like, oh man, really? And I'm like, yeah. And of course, we're like 13, 12, you know what I mean? Like we're pretty young. I think he's a little bit older than me. So if I was probably like 12, so he was probably like 14 or 15. So we're on the jet ski, but I end up throwing him off. And then I'm like, look, there's a gator. And I start doing circles around him and I wouldn't pick him up. And he's just freaking out, cussing me out, saying he's going to beat my ass, all this other stuff. And then finally I pick him up. And it was just the funniest thing. He was so mad. And then we just started laughing about it. And he still gives me hell. Every time I see him, he's just like, you still give me nightmares, Wes.
Which is funny because he's the Viper. He shouldn't be afraid of any reptiles.
Yeah,
Like,
he's afraid of some gators, boy.
hey, I get it though. When I was out there with you and we went to the ocean, like first thing I said is, "There's no sharks out here, right?" Or
Oh,
like, I'm not gonna
whatever.
get.
I mean, I guess I could talk about it now because it's already over with and it happened. The Bray White and Braun Strowman match was filmed at my parents' house.
Correct. Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I know
I
because
know.
I
Yeah, but we
told
never
you, but I'm
actually.
getting proud buddy.
Yeah, we never actually talked about it on show. But yeah, no. Little known fact is they needed a swamp for that match. Someone close had a swamp, and that was your father,
No,
Jerry Brisco.
we have a beautiful lake, by the
Right,
way.
that's just it. You guys have, like, a really nice property because I see pictures, of you and your dad posted out there by the water and stuff, and it's like, "Oh, that looks great." Until I saw the picture of him with the snake in the house, and then I was like, "Oh, Papa Brisco, I don't think I could ever come to that property now, thanks."
Oh, there's been multiple snakes, and they're like little pin me rattlesnakes. But they
Mhm.
were scared to death of gators in that lake. It was just funny. And they had like a safety diver and all this other stuff. And it's like I grew up on that lake swimming at nighttime and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like, man, these guys are sissies. Like
Are there any in there?
I've shot too.
Man, I mean, just how crazy it would have been if while they were filming that, a gator
They,
just popped up in
they,
the shot.
they wouldn't be because there's not gators in that lake.
No.
No, it's just I don't know why, but I think I do know why. Is maybe because it's a natural spring fed lake, so it's
Mm,
always pretty cool. So the
right.
Gator's like a little bit more warmer of a temperature. So my parents' lake is a little bit colder, and it's a private lake. It's not a public lake. There's just big land properties and estates on the house on the lake, so it's like huge properties and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I don't know, there's not really like too much woods, I guess, around it.
Sure. Yeah, it does look pretty open. Um, and so, I mean, yeah, they did that on your dad's property, apparently in the middle of the night. That's what I get. That what I always think is crazy with these WWE
No, they
cinematic.
showed up at 7 in the morning and they left 7 in the morning the next day.
That is nuts. That's a full day, which also seems like for how long they were there, they didn't use it to its capacity. Like I that match left me feeling like, what? That was it. There could have been way more happening here.
I
Um,
wasn't happy with the finish, but I like the production value, and I like there was some cool stuff about it and there was some bad stuff about it. And from what I was overheard was that Vince gave Bray full creative control. And from what I was told, that Bray kept fighting with the directors and kept the
mm,
directors wanted to go another way, and Bray wanted to go a different way, and the directors didn't want to go that way, and there was a lot of arguments and a couple of things happened. So, I guess that's just the nature of the biz, but I don't know if that affected the outcome of the finish or what was going on, but I know Bray had some other ideas that he wanted to get out there.
all right, right on. Man, that's 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 awesome that they were out there doing
Yeah, I'm
that.
showing some of the props if you guys want some.
Do you really?
I think they only left like a couple of things, but I'll sell them if someone wants to buy them.
That's
They're
hilarious.
like the axe handles that the extras had.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you
I'm
guys want to
talking
get
about
hit up. Actually, you know what? Since here's what we'll do.
okay.
Since we're announcing we're going to do that Patreon,
Yeah,
we
you
haven't,
got Patriots coming
but we
soon.
are. There's two of them. For maybe we'll pick a random person and we'll give those two to some of our first Patreon members. What do you think that'd be something? I mean, it was a pretty big deal. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, we can figure something out. Maybe do like first certain amount of people who jump on our Patreon will just get entered into a drawing to win that as a thank you or something. That'd be kind of cool. Uh yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see those too. It's interesting because you were talking about your dad and that they did that on his land on the land. Obviously, your dad was in the news last week, and we didn't do a show last week, so we didn't really talk much about it. Not a whole lot to talk about either. I mean, other than your
Other than
dad.
my dad being a comedian,
That's the best part of the whole thing with this scenario is obviously everybody knows your dad was released from WWE. Your dad's very happy though. He's even said that, and that's
oh,
cool.
I
And he's
I want to
he,
make a statement out there to
yeah,
everybody. WWE has taken great care of my father, and they have been nothing but respectful and treated with my dad nothing but respect. And everything you hear on the internet is all fake. Um, they took care of my dad. My dad is very happy with everything. He's happy to retire. And there's no heat, there's no animosity. He's very happy with everything, and there is no bad feelings. And my dad's still going to help out as much as he can, and he's going to help out for free because my dad loves helping out people that have a passion for wrestling. And it's not going to stop him. And he's very happy, and he's very happy with what Vince gave to him. And he's always been very faithful for his 37 years of being in the wrestling, or 38 years being in the with WWE. So he's very happy with everything. So Vince took care of my dad, and he has no complaints, and he's not bitter. He's not upset. He's not going on no rant. He's very happy with his decision.
that's awesome. Much love again. Yeah, like Chris said, much love to Papa Briscoe. Um, man, 38 years with just one company. That's not 38 years in the business. That's what's mind blowing is a
with
true
one
legacy. You're
company.
right. 38 years with one company.
And Eric Bischoff actually offered my dad a blank check
No shit.
and said, "Write what you want to write down." And my dad told us that, and my dad told Vince that my dad's a loyal guy. My dad's like, of course, I grew up like my dad. I'm very loyal to the
Mhm.
people that take care of me, and Vince took care of my dad. So my dad was like, "I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay because you've taken care of me in the past. I believe in you." So my dad stuck when everyone else jumped ship. My dad could have jumped ship, but he chose not to. And Eric Bischoff will even tell you that he offered my dad a blank check.
Right. One of my favorite stories about your dad and Eric is when 'cause-
Negative.
what's that?
Negative. Can't talk about that yet. We
Oh
got
shoot.
3 months.
Sorry.
3 months and we could talk about it.
Okay. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if we talked about that offer on air,
Uh
that story. I
three
couldn't remember.
months. 3 months and we could talk about it.
Oh, that's funny. Back to the Brisco body shop. The clarification, is the Brisco body shop open still?
No. It
Okay.
isn't.
So the best thing though that came out of that for me was the pure comedy that your dad dropped last night on Twitter. Because first of all, it's wrestling. He got let go. He sent a tweet out saying big announcement on Wednesday, which of course, because that was the other thing when this all broke that it was him, I believe Mike Rotunda and first name Sarah. I think I don't remember her other name.
Um, she's a very good person, and then another great production guy got let go.
Okay.
They're all good friends, all good people that I know, and really, really good people.
So, much love to those guys. Hopefully they all land on their feet, whatever it is they're doing. But the outpour from the community and the fans that came out when this announcement came out, which by the way, your dad broke. No dirt sheet broke that or anything. Your dad's the one that went on and tweeted it. So that's awesome that he was just point blank with it. But you got to see the careers that your father has affected and brought into this business. I mean, just even current talent that was tweeting, being like,
Or
"I
there wouldn't be a WrestleMania.
right." So that was great, but a lot of speculation of the fan community being like AEW, Jerry and Wes, AEW, bring them in together. Like that it has to happen. And your dad threw out that tweet saying announcement Wednesday, and yesterday everybody was treated to an amazing announcement. And that was, well, first of all, there was a real announcement in there, something about he's starting an agency. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Him and a friend are doing an agency, which is awesome. Very, very excited to see that.
I'm actually a part of it too.
Very cool. Awesome. You guys are going to have the best talent ever. I mean, your dad has the best eye when it comes to athletes and
And our lawyer is top notch.
perfect.
Our
So,
lawyer is actually the head agent, which writes up every contract. Which, since he's a lawyer and was top of his class in Florida State, that
hell,
he really knows the ins and outs of contracts, and he's able to give people the best deal is possible. And we're willing to work with any guys and give guys the best deals, whether you're a professional football player, basketball player, amateur rest. Well, you can't do anything in college, but anything that's pro level we will take care of and set up contracts with. And if you just want to have someone that you can feel safe with and trust and not worry about, you know, taking all your money, our firm is really good.
awesome. So, if you have that happening in life, make sure you talk to these guys. Um, yep. Uh, Shout out to James Jeffries, though, by the way.
Yeah, he just got married. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations
Sorry
on
couldn't be there, but this whole virus thing and all this craziness.
it is crazy, man. But yeah, congratulations, James and Nicole. Very happy for you guys. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Hopefully, that can actually happen. But the other thing that happened in this video is, first of all, the mutton chops were golden.
He's going Willie style.
It's amazing. I loved it. But yeah, the
You
comedic
think he's
chop,
going anywhere to get a haircut?
right? Uh, the comedic chops though was amazing. Just the whole I got first of all, I didn't know what he was talking about when he said Samsung and then the bit with the the iPhone and I was like, "What is he talking about?" And then at the end, when it finally tied back into, "Wait, oh, hang on," and then it just cut out. Um, it was just great because again, so many people were like, "Oh, he's gonna go to AEW. He's gonna go to AEW. He's gonna go to AEW. Him and Wes need to go to AEW." Like, why would you not bring the Briscoes to AEW now? And for him to just have that little fun with the fans, oh man, I was laughing my ass off when I watched it last night because it just ended, and I was like, "That was it. That's amazing. That is
Yeah,
awesome."
he's pretty good at that. My dad's a good worker.
He is. He very well is, and I can't wait to see what you guys got going with this aging company. And man, anything I can ever do to help support you guys, I'm always there for you. You
Yeah,
family, my brother. So
yeah. I mean, I'm just mainly just helping them talent and talk to people that they can't reach out to that I can reach out to. I have my own business and my own company that I'm working on. So, I got a lot of things going.
yeah, man, it's a crazy time. It is very much a crazy time, but
Yeah,
yeah, so that was a little bit of fun last night, and then also your lovely lady got some more time on AEW this week as well. I had a match with Brandy Rhodes, was in the crowd last night for Dynamite. Um, man, she's looking good. She's looking good in that ring.
yeah, she's doing really, really good, and it's honor that they're booking her, and she's really doing good. She just needs to, get that one in and start whooping that ass. But she's already whooping that ass and looking great, and I'm proud of her, and I couldn't ask for a better girl.
Hell yeah, man, she's awesome. I can't wait to see her next month at the Kickstart Your Heart show up in the Twin Cities. So that's right, Waterloo.
Be
Seeing
there, I
her.
won't be there.
I know, I'm bummed out about that, though. I'm really bummed out. Kickstart your heart. We're gonna have a heart to heart when I'm there next time.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be at any of their shows.
They're missing out, that's for sure. But yeah, man. So wrestling's been fun, but obviously you guys had some hurricanes down there this last week down in your neck of the woods,
We got 3 of them coming.
which is crazy because I hear that and I'm like, my first thing is, oh man, I hope Wes is okay. I hope everybody else I know in Florida is okay and all that. But then I talk to you and it's like, a hurricane's coming. That means surfing, baby, surf. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So let's hear about it, man. I mean, it's been in the news all over. You guys were getting hit. You got more coming. You're going to be out there trying to hit some mega waves. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's see if I can pull up something real quick. Um, I got the bags packed. I leave tomorrow, and we go up and down the state of Florida, trying to track. I don't know if you can
Hang
see,
on, let me.
but we tried to track these storms, and these are all hurricanes coming. And then I'll pull out another thing, and we can actually. I'll show you one moving right now. It's actually pretty cool. But I got all my bags packed and getting ready to try to chase this hurricane and catch some of the most amazing surf ever. We'll go out to this, and then I will show you right here. Here, let's see if I can.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There we go. You can see the hurricane spinning.
Yeah.
See, there's multiple hurricanes. There's one there. There's one there. There's one up there. And then if I slide it over, there's another one brewing. So pretty soon it's gonna get crazy.
So where's the first stop on the tour here?
Um, Crazy Tholly Woods House in New Smyrna Beach for the next 2 days, and then probably maybe somewhere down south.
Hell yeah. So what do you think you're gonna see? How big are these waves gonna get? Because you're coming in like as the storm goes through, right? Like as it's leaving, you guys are going in to hit it,
Yeah,
or
you
like
don't ever go when the storm's going because it's
right.
it's it's we call it victory at sea. There's no point. We go either before or after the storm.
Which
That's
one's better, before or after? What's the sweet spot?
it all depends on the direction and where it's coming and tides, wind, current, I mean, so much involved in surfing. And that's the beauty of surfing. Like you're constantly learning the weather. But it should be a good one. Looking forward to it. tomorrow and the next days will be like 5 to 6 foot, and then Sunday should be 7 to 11 foot.
See, and like that's
That's
huge to
not
me.
very scary to me though.
Oh, see, and I know it's not to you because I was gonna say that's huge to me, but then you're like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico, though, and catch 20 footers," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, it's funny because it's most people won't be able to make it out on these waves, but like I've been surfing these size waves a lot, and it's like it hasn't Florida waves hasn't really like there's been a one time or two times I've been scared, but other than that, it's just like I don't know, I'm pretty confident that everything's gonna be good, you know.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome that you got something like that. I mean, like, all I got's golf, and I've gone, like, 3 times this summer to enjoy my hobby. I'm gonna go one more time this weekend before they cut my hand up next week, and
Yeah,
I
but see,
golf.
like I don't get to surf quality waves that actually get me like unless I go to Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Mexico. Um, I don't really get the waves that like scare me, that get me like, like my heart's just like,
Right.
I'm like just like scared, like full on just scared, like can't believe I'm doing this. Like, why am I going out? Like, what am I doing? Like, I could drown. I could die right now. Like, those are the days that I like. But
Oh, that's
we don't
so
do many of those.
but you would you categorize yourself as an adrenaline junkie?
No,
No. So, like, you're not jumping out of planes, you're not.
no, I've done that. I bungee jumped 750 feet in Seattle, Washington, and we went with the guy called Vertical Bungee. You can look them up; they're famous. They've set a couple world records, and we literally snuck onto the bridge. They told us that if we get caught, we're gonna all go to jail. We're not allowed to be doing this. Like, so this is not like I'm at some theme park signing a waiver and going,
Yeah,
"Hey
yeah,
man,
yeah.
like I'm gonna jump like 100 foot into like over a pool," and it's gonna like, nah. This is like legit on a crazy sketchy bridge that we had to carry all the equipment on. And here's the funniest part about it: that we took a red eye from Florida to Seattle, which is a long flight. I mean, that's
Yeah,
like a
it's cross
7
country,
hour
bro.
flight from Florida.
Yeah.
So, like we had a couple drinks on the plane and like whatever. So we fly in and get in at like a red eye. You usually get in around like 6:55, 6:30 in the morning. And then by the time we got picked up was 7. And our team manager at the time, or actually the owner of the company and team manager, like kind of just like the guy that took care of everything, the boss, he was like, "Hey, we're gonna get you breakfast, guys. Get ready. We're going jumping." And we're all like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." So then we all just like we're already just mind blown, and then we sneak up onto this bridge in the middle of nowhere, and it's like two metal bars and those little plank of wood, and you're standing over, and it's just you look down, and it's just a little teeny river going right down there, and
Oh,
it's nothing but crazy jagged rocks. And they're like, 3, 2, 1, boy, go, and you're just like, whoosh. And then I jumped again in Mexico.
oh, that is crazy. Oh, that's I don't know if I could do it, man. I don't know if I could do that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'd have it in me. Like, I think I want to in my head. I'm like, I love it, but it's that moment of when I'm doing it and I look down, like, I think I'll poop myself a little bit. Especially when you're doing like, because again, like you said, that's not the carnival where you can just pay and jump down. There's a big inflatable thing under you.
No, there's nothing
Like
to
you're doing like legit, like, hey man,
die.
this may go one way, this may go the other way. We don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, but these guys are so professional and so good, and they work for Red Bull.
Okay,
They set world records. They just do some crazy stuff sometimes, you know, on the side.
dude, that's some crazy thing, man.
The
Like,
hardest thing was carrying the winch all the way up the
oh,
mountain
yeah.
onto the thing, because the winch is what dragged you after. So basically, when you bungee jump with these guys, you jump, and then by the second rebound, and what your rebound is when the coil pulls up and you come back up. You come up 2 times. First time you try to get away from the thing because if it wraps around, you're going to lose your arm or leg or whatever. So you come up and you try to go away. But the second time you come up, you're coming up a little bit slower. You grab onto those fucking, excuse my language. There's
That's
my
your one. It's good.
You grab onto the bungee and then you hold it and then they look up, then you unhook yourself and hook it to the bungee and then
Oh,
they
hell no,
back
dude.
up.
Hell no, dude.
But if you don't do that, if you're not man enough to grab the bungee and hook it up, they have
That's-
to lift you up by your feet upside down all the way up.
oh yeah, y'all be pulling me up, feet up, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's how sketchy
That
it is.
that is super sketch right there. Tina, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today. Man, that's what like what else, man? You done skydiving out of plane?
Yeah.
Okay, free fall. Like, have you done it yourself, or did you have the guy
No,
strapped?
I haven't got enough jumps in.
Okay, what else have you done? The reason I'm always fascinated because obviously you're a wakeboarder. It's kind of the extreme sports, doing all the X Games and stuff like that. And it's just always been known that these extreme sports athletes are
Free
in.
dive with
Yeah,
sharks,
they're crazy, man. What?
diving, holding my breath and swimming 60 feet and holding my breath for 3 minutes.
Can we
Looking
come back to the free diving with sharks?
all the time. When I spearfish, you come across sharks.
Oh, that again scares the
That's like
shit.
when you spearfish and you shoot your fish, you pull your fish and you pull it, like hold it against you and swim up as fast as possible. Because if it's dangling, one shark will get, and then next thing you know, you got like 3 or 4 sharks just trying to eat your fish, and you're like, you gotta
Right.
let it go. So
So let me ask you this, my friend. Well, we can end the show on this. I think this is a good question. Just a fun. What has been like the craziest near death experience you've ever had? Like, what was like? I could tell you mine, just because you've done a lot of crazy shit. Like more than I've never done in my life. And mine wasn't even a crazy thing. Like mine literally was. I almost got hit by a gas truck because he like came into the road and didn't see that I was driving, and like all I looked at out of my driver's side door, and it was literally just the grill of the semi. And I like swerved into the curb out onto the road, got out, and the guy turned around and he looked like a ghost. He was so white because he was like, I almost killed you. I was like, yeah, you're like that close.
I've had too many to count.
Okay, well, you got one crazy one though?
Oh, they're all crazy as hell. I've had
All right.
probably 25.
Holy shit.
First one, I'm just gonna tell you one, and we could do one every podcast.
We almost could, yeah. This might be the way to end now.
We were doing a video film trip in Bali,
Oh, okay.
and we were filming a wakeboard video, and we were in Indonesia, and we did a stop in Bali, and we had one night, and everybody was like, we've been traveling and we've been riding, and we were in somewhere else, and we were in Singapore before that, and we just had like 2 days of this like lay time. So we were like, oh, we got one day to recover, we're going out. So we go out to Bangkok, and Bangkok is great. I mean, literally, what you see, like all the stories of what you hear about Bangkok is 100% true. I've seen everything. I can't even mention the stuff I've seen on this show because
Nice.
we are a PG show. So I can only tell you what the story was. So we have some adult beverages, and it becomes the end of the night. And for some reason, at the time, me and my friends were into car surfing, which I don't recommend it. I don't tell anybody to do it. It's the stupidest thing physically possible to do. The most idiotic thing. Don't ever do it. Please don't.
Is this what like they did in Teen Wolf, like Michael J. Fox getting on top of the van and surfing on top while he was driving?
Yeah, but we did it off of a cab where the guy didn't know what we were doing. So he floored it and we flew off the cab into
Oh
the
my god.
street, and we don't know where we at. We don't have our cell phones and we don't have anything. And one of our buddies is stuck in the cab trying to get out, and the cab driver won't let him out.
Oh, I bet he was just freaking out. Like all of a sudden, just someone's on top of his car.
2 people.
Two
Me and Ryan Doyle. Shout out to Ryan Doyle.
Oh, that cab driver had to shit himself, dude.
Yeah.
So you guys got thrown off of it.
Yeah, into the middle of Bangkok Street at 3 in the morning.
Oh my god.
He was going like 20 miles an hour.
Dude, that's a bump. That's a fucking that's my
He
one
hit
for
the trunk of the car so hard.
Oh my god.
That's what probably saved us.
Wow.
I know we had messed up his car.
That's so crazy. Like I literally
That's one of them.
I would like to hear the rest of these. Hey Kyle, thanks for tuning in tonight.
Yeah.
Man, that's I just imagine this poor cab driver's like, whatever, just driving these guys to the next party or wherever. I was just like, what the hey, get off! Like,
I went 160 on a motorcycle and it got swervy when it was like, and we almost lost control.
That's yeah.
You want me to keep going?
No, you don't have to.
I got a list of them, buddy.
We could save some. That bike one scared me because that's like I'm scared of motorcycles. I think they're
my best friend died on a motorcycle.
What's that?
My best friend died on the motorcycle, the same motorcycle that I was on that almost had that accident.
That sucks, man. That sucks.
James Pearson, big homie.
Oh,
love you, homie.
Yeah, rest in peace, bro. Never forget. Yeah, that's on that note, before we leave, I just want to, on a personal note, say like a big shout out. So, you know, my name's Big Ace on this show. Obviously, my real name's not Big Ace, guys, but that is my name. But there's a story of why I became Ace, and in reality, it's in tribute to my best friend going through college, going through radio broadcasting. We did it all together. A gentleman who unfortunately had a nasty bike accident years before I ever met him, and was in a wheelchair the rest of his life. So when I met him, he was paralyzed. But it never slowed him down. This guy taught me how to drink. We would literally drink a 175 of whiskey in his apartment, and he would just every half hour be like, "Shot time." He was my best friend for 2 years. And again, in tribute to him, this is why I took the on-air name of Ace and stage name, because I was told I couldn't use my real name at the radio station I was at. Long story short, though, I did find out this last week that he passed away unexpectedly. So, yeah, man, just big shout out to him, and a big influence on my life in the very beginning stages of this adventure that went from there to where I'm at now. So man, yeah, it's just it was a shock, still kind of shocking. So definitely reach out to your loved ones. Don't ever be like, I'll just call them tomorrow. Like, just do it. That's probably my biggest regret, is I didn't keep in enough contact. So, but yeah, man, shout out to him, and rest in peace. I always remember you, brother. Anytime anyone calls me Ace, I always will. So yeah, man. Dude, this was a fun show. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear that the hot dog guy responded back to my tweet?
No, no.
So, guys, should I burn this guy or what? So the guy that I said something. I said someone needs to give AEW needs to give Brian Cage a real opponent, a legit guy. And I guess the guy that he wrestled against
the food eating guy. Yeah, what's his name?
He responded back and said, "Oh yes, he did have a real opponent." And that was me, onto my Twitter. And I was like, man, I don't know if I should just roast him right now. I don't know if I should burn him. I don't know if I should just rip him a new one, because boy, he's starting a fire that he don't want to light, because we just won't even go there.
But, yeah, it's definitely turning into, you got quite the list of names that you're gonna have some conversations with if you ever show up at AEW.
Oh, I don't think Hot Dog Man signed.
He might still be there though. He might be selling hot dogs at that point.
I don't want to knock anybody. I don't, no disrespect, but don't come at me. Come at me, you better see me. All I gotta say.
That's right. That is right.
Because I don't play video games. I knuckle up, boys.
That's right. Hell yeah. Old school. That's what it is, man.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna put up with bullshit.
that too. That
So if
too.
you want to holler at my Twitter and like want to act tough and stuff, come see me. I ain't hard to find. I'll give you the address.
Right. Hell yeah. And definitely, guys, if you want
Don't
to
call the
see,
cop.
yeah, don't call the cop.
Don't pull a 6ix9ine and snitch.
That's
Because
cheating.
I busted you over.
Yeah, man. I think everybody would agree though. They'd love to see you get over there and take on Brian Cage. So guys, let AW know that needs to happen. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We had a good crowd on with us for most of the show tonight, so we appreciate it. Good friends James and Chris, Kyle, Tina, Ryan, all you guys, Mark.
And then why don't you tell them what we're starting? And
Oh yeah. So thank you guys again. And what we got going on is we're working on our Patreon. We're gonna launch a Brisco and Big Ace Patreon. Probably in the next week or two, we'll get it hopefully up and running. But we're working on it. We're gonna have some cool things, some exclusive stuff. We'll have a cool sticker that we're gonna give out for it. We're gonna have some exclusive I guess you could say virtual meet and greets with us, some maybe watch alongs with us. You can even maybe get some private shout outs from Wes, myself too, if you want, I guess.
yeah, and also I would certain people that depends on what they donate, I will film matches that are not televised and that indie shows that I do. We'll put that only on our Patreon, and we'll do a couple of different stuff just to give the guys a different experience. If there's a guy on the show that you guys see that I'm on, we could do a meet and greet with him and talk with him. We're gonna do a lot of things and make our Patreon a little bit different than a lot of other people. But this is a new platform we're gonna try. We're gonna see how it goes. And for it's not going money into us, it's going money into help to make the show better. It's to help us get better equipment, it's to help us be able to put on a better show, give you guys a better quality of broadcasting and intellectual conversation.
Yeah, definitely, guys, because Big Ace needs a new microphone. This thing's been crapping out on me lately. I don't know. I know, Wes, you said I was cutting out earlier, so I don't know if you heard that. Sorry. Not a lot I can do. It just does it now. But I got my money back, I think, in the next day or two from the Jericho cruise since I can't go on the next one. So some of that may also be used on a new microphone because I don't want to.
Yeah, I need a new GoPro if you guys want to see more video vlogs.
Yeah, man. And
I
the other
broke,
thing.
I broke my last one.
Oh no.
But I'm borrowing another one, and I'll have a video vlog up of this whole trip coming up on our YouTube channel.
Hell yeah, and that's the other thing too. As other things start happening, more events start happening, or just things in our lives happening that are cool that we think it's something we want to share with you. We're gonna do that. We're gonna share. I know I got possibly a trip to Vegas coming up in February, so if I do that, I'll definitely get some video of what Ace is like in Vegas. Boring.
When is it?
I think the February 10th.
Dude, why don't you wait till the 21st and go when it's my birthday, and I'll show you Vegas like you don't know. I know buddies that own clubs that Steve Aoki performs. We don't have to wait in no line. We get VIP, all the free bottles, everything. Like legit, I got Vegas. Like it was funny. Like a lot of people will tell you, like Heath Slater, everybody will tell you, I got more hosts than anybody in the world, dude. I'm legit. Your boy Brisco, I can get you in any club, anywhere. I know somebody. Like that's just how I roll. Yeah, I just roll like that. I just know people. But
Hell yeah.
I got Vegas in every front that you even want to see. I got it unlocked.
Hell yeah, dude.
Tell me, and I line everything up.
Nice. Well, we'll have to talk about more about that then. But yeah, man.
My birthday, so I would have to file out. So we'll see.
Hell yeah. So again, guys, watch for that. The Patreon dropping. It'll be on all of our social media when it launches. We'll probably launch it on a day of an episode as well so that we can actually officially announce it on the show. So watch for that. Again, YouTube guys, get on there, the Brisco and Big Ace show. Subscribe, click remind or notifications so you know when we post new stuff on there. You'll also know when we have our live shows go on there, as well as if you go to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Instagram as well. The Brisco and Big A Show. We're on all of it. Type it in, find us, follow us, like us, talk with us, share anything you want with us. Just nothing crazy though. Otherwise, man. Tuesday nights you can catch me with the comedian John Russell on the Two Count on YouTube. The two number two COUNT, where we just nerd out about wrestling. And Wes, what's up with any shows coming up?
I believe October 23rd, Atomic Wrestling. Next week we have special guest
Yes.
Gianni from South Africa, and then we also have the man, the promoter, one of the biggest guys in South Africa, running the biggest promotion in South Africa, is going to be on our podcast. Then, course two, um, if you guys have any houses for sale that are you guys are going through any problems with the bank, need any help, or just looking for a way, like let's say you inherit a house and you don't know what to do with it and you're getting stuck with the bills. If you have a problem, hit me up. I have a cash offer. We buy houses, we flip them, we trade them. If you're looking into buying a house, we have houses on the market. So just hit up Brisco Properties. We got you.
There you go. Brisco Properties, everybody. Make sure you check it out if you are in that field looking or needing to get rid of one. Um, yeah, what else? There was one more thing that I was like, we should probably say this, and now I've forgotten. Oh, guys, again, past episodes, they're on YouTube. You can check them out with our wonderful guests that we've had. We've had PJ Black as recent, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Keith Slater, Martin Casas. You could go way, way back. You might even be able to find that #1 episode of Brian Cage, although that wouldn't be on YouTube, guys. I hate to break it to you. That one is
What?
an
That was not on
audio.
YouTube?
We didn't have video then, bro. We didn't get into video till about a year in. So the first year of episodes
That
are
was a good. That
audio.
was a good episode too.
It's
You
still
gotta
out
go
there.
to the VOC to find it.
It's still out there, so you can find it. I'm not even sure if they have it, but yes, good point. VOC Radio Nation guys are the exclusive home for all the audio versions of the Brisco and Big Ace show. It's the only place you're going to find them. So make sure you check those guys out, give them a like, and check them out and get those audio versions from us if you need to listen to it on the go. It's a good way to do it. So otherwise, guys, we're going to come back with you with a great show next week. Like Wes said, we got some amazing guests. It's going to be a very fun show to talk about because just talking to you about your trip out there this last year was just fascinating. So to have them on, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool because we get to see the people from South Africa. Because, like I said on the last episode when we had PJ Black on, he came to FCW already knowing how to do a 450. He came already knowing how to work. So it's crazy that the skill of the South African wrestlers are phenomenal, and we're having one of the greatest South African. He is the South African heavyweight champion. We're gonna have on the show, and then of course we're gonna have the big promoter AJ. We're gonna have the man, the boss man. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. Watch all of our social media to find out exactly what day and time. More than likely a Thursday, that's my guess. But find out the time for sure on our social medias. Otherwise, everybody enjoy your weekend, as Wes and I will definitely enjoy our weekend. And we'll see you guys next week with another Brisco and Big A show. Take it easy, everybody.